Hello, listeners. Welcome to Kadamna State Senior Secondary Schools Online Connect, powered by exponential computers. And this is mathematics, which is prepared and to be presented by my humble self, Mujahid Abu. So I welcome you all with the Islamic greeting. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. May the peace, mercy, and blessing of Almighty Allah be upon all of you. Well, these slides I named them revision, general revision, and it is used mostly by students to learn algebraic expressions, which under it algebraic process there are so many things, among which simultaneous equations involve. So in this slide we are going to see some hints to learn algebraic expression or algebraic processes. What I often tell my students is, whenever you come across to a new topic, we normally teachers write a topic and underline it. That is to say, it is a topic to be discussed that very day and that time. So students should understand the explanation done by the teacher on that topic. Alhamdulillah. Understanding the concept will enable the student to understand all the examples follow after it at ease. And without even writing the examples, a student can predict what may be an example. For instance, a student of basic science, if you see a topic written on a board, living thing, I believe a teacher will begin by telling the student certain features or characteristics of living things. Once a student understands the features or the characteristics, may easily detect or predict what should be an example of living thing and what should not be. This is applied to mostly all the topics. And as well, looking at algebraic expression. Algebraic expression or algebraic processes, from the word algebraic and expression, are the combinations of two words. Algebraic and expression is a mathematical statement which contain or which comprises of known and unknown, that is, numbers and alphabet. We normally use alphabet to represent unknown. Saying unknown means an object which exists but we don't know what it really stands for. So you go for a H to find it. Example of in expression, there are expressions which are numeric. We call them numerical expressions. They only contains numbers. Example of numerical expression is 5 plus 1 is equal to what? 6. Good. So 5 plus 1 is equal to 6 is an expression that contains only numbers. No alphabet, no unknown. They are all known. We call it numerical expressions. And as well, if I have 5 plus x is equal to 6, is algebraic expression with equal sign. Now again, if I write 5 plus x minus 2 plus, let me see, 5 again, 5 minus x plus 2 is an algebraic expression. It's just like somebody is telling you about himself, what he have, which you don't know unless he tell you all about it. If I said, I have money, I show you 50 naira, and I have another money in my pocket, that 50 naira is known to you. But what is there in my pocket is unknown to you, unless if you bring it out, unless you find a way to find it, to know what is that. So that process you will use to find it is depends on you. Are you going to ask him to bring the money out, or are you going to put your hand inside his pocket to bring the money out and know what is that amount of money? There are different methods which you can follow to find it, depending on the relationship between you and the owner of the money. And as well, in solving algebraic processes, we named this slide as the basic hint to learn algebraic processes. We consider the four operational signs, which are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Number one, whenever you are solving problem that comprises of known and unknown, number one thing you will look at is the relationship between the known and the unknown. In this example, solve for x if x plus 3 is equal to 7. At this juncture, let me remind my student, this is just like a mathematics we are doing during our primary school time, which you will see an empty box plus 3 or plus certain number is equal to another number. Like this one, an empty box plus 3 is equal to 7. That empty box is asking you what must be added to 3 to give you 7. Though at that time, you are expected to write 4 and you will mark correct. But now as you are growing off, and always learning is from simple to complex. So we are learning from simplest things to complex. So here you don't need to write just 4. You have to show how do we get to 4. And that process is by looking at the relationship between what you need to know, which is x, and the number close to it, which is 3. So the relationship between x and 3 is addition. And the hint number 1 said we use subtraction to deal with addition. So to remove this addition, we have to apply subtraction. So we use subtraction to deal with it. That is, subtract 3 from both sides. In the left-hand side, from wherever you are looking at this slide, my student, this equal sign divides the equations into two sides. There is a right-hand side and there is a left-hand side. In your left-hand side, we have x plus 3. And in our right-hand side, we have only 7. So we subtract 3 from both sides. X plus 3 minus 3, left-hand side, is equal to 7 minus 3, right-hand side. 3 minus 3 should be 0. So in the left-hand side, x alone will only be left alone. And in the right-hand side, 7 minus 3 is 4. So we know already that x is 4. Here is the process we follow to find the x. My student, I know your level may exceed this, but don't worry. Try to understand this thing 100%. I know it will be of use to you. And number 2, we use addition to deal with subtraction. Example, x minus 4 is equal to 10. X minus 4 is equal to 10. The relationship between x and 4 is subtraction. So to deal with subtraction, we use addition. Solution. as I said, we look at the relationship between x and 4 is subtraction. So we use addition to deal with subtraction. So that is to say it, add 4 to both sides. This both sides meaning the sides are 2, and that is why we use plural. Both sides, left hand side and right hand side. In left hand side we have x minus 4. In right hand side we have 10. So x minus 4 plus 4 in the left hand side, and in the right hand side 10 minus 4. So 10. So this is a mistake, please, sorry. And that's you better have a pen and a paper close to you. As a human, we can easily make a mistakes. So this is plus 4, not minus 4. And the answer should be 14 and not 6. The answer is 14 and not 6. It's a mistake I made in the process of typing. So I am very sorry for that. Number 3 is we use division to deal with multiplication. We use division to deal with multiplication. There are things that our students are often saying it. Divide both sides, add so to both sides, subtract so from both sides. Please, I remind you, let us know the reason behind all this thing we are doing. Let us know the reasons. Because knowing the reason will enable you to use it all the time. And if you don't know the reason behind doing it, is what gives blockage to our student in the process of learning. So here, we look at the relationship between 5 and y. 5y is just like 5 times y. It's a multiplication. So we use division to deal with it. That is, divide both sides by 5. 5y minus 5, 5y over 5 on the left-hand side is equal to 20 over 5 on the right-hand side. And this will give us 4. And this is just like that mathematics we are doing during our primary school time. So 5 times, we now write an empty box, is equal to 20. What must be written in that empty box? If student write 4, you will get the answer correct. But since we are now going off, we'll write alphabet to replace that empty box. Then we use multiplication to deal with division. Example: solve y over 5 plus 1 is equal to 13. You consider the relationship between the unknown variable, which is y, and the unknown variables, which are 5, 1, and 13. So the relationship between y and 5 is division. So to deal with division, we apply multiplication, which is we multiply through by 5. That is, we multiply each term of the equation by 5. Multiplying that will give us y plus 5 is equal to 13 times 5. Another mistake here. This is another mistake. So please, I'm very sorry to my fellow listeners for this mistake again. Multiplying 5 to each term, this will give us 65. Y plus 5 is equal to 65, because 13 times 5 is 65. Then we look at the relationship between y and 5, which is addition. We proceed by dealing with this 5 close to y. So we will proceed by using the other method of dealing with addition. So what we want to say here is that the 4 operational signs addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. You see, addition deal with subtraction. Subtraction deal with addition. And as well, multiplication deal with division and vice versa. That is, division deal with, we used it to deal with multiplication. After that, there is an equation involving with fractions. Here, we need to revise our knowledge of LCM in dealing with equations with fractions. So, in the next slide, we are going to show and teach our student very well what is that LCM and how do we use it, how do we find it. There are so many misconceptions of LCM. Let me repeat again. Don't worry to be looking at these slides as simple as you may think of. I know how important they are, because most of the time students get blockage while learning mathematics, and it may be because of failure to understand certain things, among which these ones are included. So please, I am advising you, the listener, to listen to it very well and not take it for granted, because they are all of the great importance. So next time, by God willing, we are going to look at how do we find LCM, and why do we find LCM, why do we need it, and what are the misconceptions students have on LCM, because there are. So thank you very much for listening, and God bless. Bye-bye.